Good day to you lovely people. So welcome to another of our live recipes. So today is very, very exciting. I thought I would start a new series with you guys. So the new series is called What Do I Do With ... And the reason why I wanted to create this series was because it's great for us to just like pay attention to one single ingredient. So that means that I can talk to you guys about what are the different ways you can use it, what it's good for, what it's not so good for, how long you can keep it for, you know, that type of thing. And we can really go deep into that particular ingredient. So the deal is, if you guys haven't been with me before, hello, for you guys who haven't been with me before, welcome. You'll like it here. I have my computer in front of me, which means that I can see the live, which means that I can see your questions. So you guys can ask me questions as I cook, though I'm not really cooking today, I'm more assembling. But as I assemble, you guys can ask me some questions, either about what I'm making today or about something else. So Gloria joined. Hello. Good afternoon. Yes, so you guys can ask me questions about what I'm making today. You can ask me about substitutions. You can ask me to repeat something because, you know, sometimes I can talk quite quickly or mumble or whatever it is. So you guys can ask me questions. Okay, so as ever, there is a rainbow here somewhere around the shot it's going to be somewhere. Yesterday's was ridiculously easy, so today's is a little bit harder. If there are any professional rainbow spotters out there, do your best. Let's see who can get to it first. So Deepa said, hello, I've been enjoying following your videos. Good. Have you made any of the recipes? I would like to know. Virginia says, hello, couldn't get gluten-free Marmite. Could I use something else? So actually, I think that Marmite might be gluten-free anyway, but the yeast extract is gluten-free, as far as I know. So, but if you don't want to use that, then you can substitute Marmite in the recipes that we were talking about with something like either the fava bean umami paste, which you can get from Hodmedod's. That's Hodmedod's, and you spell it exactly how you say it, Hodmedod's. So you can get the fava bean umami paste from those guys, or you could use something like a brown rice miso paste. So you know the miso paste that's really, really dark, very salty, very savoury, that you could use that as well. Oh, okay, sorry, yeah, so fair enough, it has barley in it, then yes, it will have a small amount of gluten in it, absolutely, but I'm going to check whether the one that I use actually, whether that contains barley as well. So let me check into that later on today and I will get back to you, Virginia. Fee said, loving these recipes. Good. Okay, so let's get going today. Now, today's focus is chia seeds. I know that quite a few of you will have bought chia seeds because you've heard how amazing they are. And maybe you've tried them once, maybe you haven't tried them at all, possibly, and they're in your cupboard. Okay, Virginia has miso paste, good. But make sure, Virginia, that it's the dark stuff, because that's what we're looking for when we want to substitute something like Marmite or yeast extract. The white miso is more sweet, so you need to find the dark stuff. So Deborah said, loving your shows, and you love chia. I love chia too. And Maria, thank you. Hello. Sue said, hello, soup was delicious yesterday. Very spicy. Think the chili slipped. Bit more coconut cream sorted it. Another portion today after this. Yes, and that is a very, very good point to raise actually. Yesterday's spiced carrot soup, if you want it to be less spicy, basically, if your tolerance isn't too high, then you can always add more of the coconut cream or more of the yogurt, more of the coconut yogurt, whichever creamy things that it was that you were adding, you can add more of it, so you can really play around with that recipe. Okay, so chia seeds. Hands up who has these in their cupboard but doesn't use them. I can't actually see you putting your hand up, but maybe just say yes, Just say yes if you have them in your cupboard, but you don't use them very often at all. In fact, they may even be a little bit out of date. Maybe. So, today I'm going to talk to you about what we can use them for in the kitchen, and we're going to make a really, really simple recipe, a chia pudding. So, we're going to start with basically making a thick smoothie. There you go. And Tony put his hand up and said yes. Thank you for that. So we are going to basically make a thick smoothie. That's all you need to do when you're making a chia pudding. So chia seeds are great for omega-3s, as you'll have heard. Great antioxidant, really high in fibre, iron and calcium. So loads and loads and loads of great nutrition going on in there. And that can be like a little bit abstract. So we've got a few more yeses there. Fee says she uses them all the time. Okay, so Fee, if you can let us know what you use them for, that would be really, really helpful. Thank you. Yes, so as I was saying, yes, the nutrition that's in it can be a bit abstract for us, you know. It sounds great that it's got all of these things going on in it, but what does that really, really mean for me? So one of the things that I love about a chia pudding, for me, is that, yes, we've got all the vitamins and minerals of the fruit that's going to go on in there, and that's going to give us a real immediate boost. But the chia seeds mean that I'm going to stay fuller for longer. So we'll have this for a breakfast, or you can even have it as a dessert, whatever, but it will keep you fuller for longer. If we didn't have... I don't know if you can see that, but Gino has come to say hello. Hello. He does like just hanging out with me in the kitchen. Anyway, hello, how are you? Yes, so as I was saying, if you add chia seed to this pudding, oh, you can just about see him. Yeah, you got to see his tail. Which isn't the cutest bit of him. The cutest bit of him is his face and his paws. He's got massive paws. Anyway, see, the thing is, like, I know that you guys won't mind having a little kitty break, and you won't mind me kind of like going a bit googa over cats, because I know that a lot of you probably do exactly the same. Back to chia seeds. Okay, so if we were going to have just this pudding on its own without the chia seeds in it, it would give us that immediate boost, but it wouldn't necessarily keep us full up for longer, because, you know, fruits and veggies, they can go through your system fairly quickly, but the chia seeds means that, you know, it stays in there. Okay, so Fee said that she uses them all the time. That's great. Maria said always in oats with soy milk or yogurt. The soul way, yeah, that's a great start. And Jack says that he uses them in his porridge. So Jack, do you put them on top of your porridge, or do you actually put them inside it? You're really going to come and hang out with us today, are you? We've got a little star in the making. Okay, so let's start with our smoothie. The first ingredient is 1 banana, and I'm showing you these. I'm sure you've seen bananas before. This is a large banana. This is a small to medium sized banana. So if in this recipe it says 1 banana, we always think that it's going to be 1 medium. So if they are really, really small, then use more. If they're really, really big, then maybe just use part of it. So we'll use this big one, but I'm only going to use about that much, something like that. Okay, and we're going to do something really special tomorrow with these. I know, it's very exciting. It is very exciting. These are edible, and there is a really, really lovely recipe that I have with these. So I'm going to save these, put them to one side with the other banana skins that I've got from using them today. And then we'll make something very, very, very exciting tomorrow. So Jack said he puts chia seeds inside it and also overnight. Oh, that's a good way of using it. Karen, thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining the group. I saw you joined our community hub today. Ariel, thank you for joining us again. Okay, right. Into here we are going to add 2 large dates. So these are medjool dates that I am using. You can use other dates. You can use those dates that are a bit more dry. I just recommend soaking them in some hot water for about 10 minutes, fishing them out and then using them, just because it's going to be easier on the blender, basically. That's all it is. But with that water, Oh, that water is so nice. So the water that the dates have been soaking in, that's going to get lovely and sweet. You can pop that into like a pre-workout drink. It's really, really good for that. So I used to go to the gym and just have date water, and I would add a little bit of Himalayan salt to it just to replenish the water that I'd lost through sweating. And that was a really, really lovely gym drink to have, because home gym drink at the moment. And Gary said, thank you for sharing your recipes and knowledge. Love from Cape Town in South Africa. From South Africa. Did live in South Africa for 3 months, once upon a time, with 500 monkeys, as you do. Michael said, good morning from USA. Where are you in the USA? And I think that with one of our recipes, we should see if we can get one person, at least one person from each state in America, because we have a lot of people watching from America. So we'll have to see if we can do that one day. Okay, so in here we have 1 banana, 2 large dates, and then we're going to put the zest of 1/4 of a lime in here. So you can just use a zester if you have one, or a fine grater or something like that. And then we just need to add 1/2 cup of water. So you can use almond milk or soy milk if you want to, but water is fine because we're going to get the creaminess from the banana and also from this ingredient that we're going to put in. So this is coconut flour. You can use ground almond, and so on here I said 1/4 cup of ground almond or coconut flour. I'm using coconut flour because this is what I have in my cupboard. So, you know, I want to use up all of this stuff at the moment. I don't want to go to the shops unnecessarily. So I'm really trying to look for those substitutions and just think, well, almond flour is very similar to this. The coconut flavour will go with this, so I'm going to use this. So I've measured out 1/4 cup in here. I can just pop that in. Oh, it's a bit stuck in the bottom there. Star! Oh, lovely name! Lovely name. We collect people with really lovely names on this show, and Star, I always wanted to be called Star because of the Lost Boys. Really, really wanted to. I must have seen that film about, oh gosh, 50 times, maybe more. Absolutely obsessed. Okay, so yeah, we want to have all of these ingredients in the bowl, and then we're going to blend it. We don't want to blend it with the chia seeds, so we're just going to make this thick smoothie, no chia seeds at the moment, and with our trusty hand blender. Sure that those dates are completely broken up as much as possible. You will get a flecks of the skin, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine because they're very, very thin, so it won't have any texture to it. Okay, that is done. So we will. Star said that you like that movie. Good. I did like that movie as well, an awful lot. And in fact, I know quite a lot of the lines from it as well. But let's not talk about the Lost Boys at the moment. Let's talk about vegan food. That is what we're here for. Okay. So now that we've got this thick smoothie, then we add our chia seeds. So we will add 1 tablespoon of chia seeds in here. So this is a 1/2 tablespoon measure. So if I just pop 2 of those in, mix it all up. Make sure that it's mixed in really, really well, and then pop it into our glass. So one word of warning with washing up chia seed, you know, the spoons that you've been using for chia seeds, or the glasses that chia seeds have been in, wash it all out first and then use a sponge or, you know, whatever it is that you use on it. If you use a sponge immediately and the sponge comes into contact with chia seeds, those chia seeds will stick to that sponge. I mean, honestly, they will just cling to it, and it'll be really, really hard to get them off, because basically what a chia seed does, what it's made for, is that it sucks up water. It attaches to that liquid, and that's why it's so great at doing what it does inside a pudding. It thickens it because it attaches to the liquid and it becomes gelatinous. And so if you you've got the chia seeds, you've got the water, and you've got the sponge, and it will be really annoying, and then you may actually have to waste that sponge if it gets really, really bad. So wash it all off properly first, and then use your sponge or whatever it is that you use for your washing up. Okay, so that's the first bit, and you can just have it like that. That's fine. I would leave it to rest for at least an hour just to thicken. Some websites will say that you need to leave it overnight. You don't need to leave it overnight. I would say just about an hour is absolutely fine. So onto the topping. As I said, you can just have it as it is. That's fine, but we're going to do a topping because I want to show you another way to use chia seeds. So in here we have some frozen raspberries, about 35 grams. I say that's probably like 2 large spoonfuls. And these ones are frozen. The reason why I'm using frozen is because when I mush them up, they're going to give me a lot of liquid. And that is what I want. And the reason why we want that liquid is because, you guessed it, we want the chia seeds to be able to cling to something, and to expand and to get all like gelatinous. So they're going to need this liquid. So into our raspberries, we'll put half a tablespoon of chia seeds. The reason why I wanted to show this to you guys is that for some people, they don't like this texture, and they don't like the way that it looks. But what I've found with my experience is that if you mix raspberries with chia seeds, then once the chia seeds take on the colour of the raspberry, and they will do that, they will stop looking so grey and they'll start looking red, our brains just go, well, it's just raspberry seeds. That's all it is. It's just raspberry seeds. It's not chia, it's raspberry. So you can actually fool people into thinking that this doesn't have chia seeds in it at all. So pop that on top, and then I'll go and get one that I made earlier, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. So just pop that on. Just going to push it down so that it goes all around the outside of the glass. There we go. So that is our pudding that we've literally just made. Oh, you absolutely adore my accent. Thanks. And this is the one that I made about a couple of hours ago. So you can see in there, this is all completely red. The seeds don't look grey or black or anything now. It just looks like raspberry seeds, which is exactly what we're looking for. And this is just really kind of like thickened up. It's pretty solid. It's more mousse-like. So that's our chia pudding. So that's one way to use them. Really, really simple, really straightforward. But there are lots of other ways that we can use chia seeds. So you can use them in things like cookies, crackers. If you make your own bread, then you can put some in that. But just be careful with the quantity. So just a spoonful, say like a maximum of like a tablespoon in a loaf of bread. You could use them in flapjacks as well, because it's just a great way to add a bit more nutrition into your diet. But what about savoury things? So they are great toasted, and that is what we're going to do with them now. So I have this little pan that I use for toasting seeds and toasting nuts, and that's just such a great addition to any dish, and it's a real like chef's trick. It's one of our secrets actually, is that when you add something that has like little dots of colour to a dish, it can really make it look so much more tasty. So we can do that with things like whole seeds, but also things like cracked hemp. which you buy already cracked. You can just sprinkle that on top of a dish and it really makes it look so much more pretty. So this is already going quite fast, but I'll just lower the temperature and pop some of these seeds in. And so we just want to wait until we can start smelling it. This is what I've said with our spice seeds as well. There will be a fragrance that will come from it, and these will also start popping. So that's when you know that they're done. And we will be adding these to a salad once we have ground them. So I'm just going to grind them, break them up a bit, and then we will add them to this salad. So this is something that I knocked out quickly before we came on today. So I just raided my fridge really, to be honest, using up all those bits and pieces. So we've got some fresh cucumber in there, some really crunchy radish, which has like a beautiful colour, some gem lettuce, some celery, a load of dill. I really like using lots and lots and lots of herbs, so rather than just like a small amount, I really max it out with my herbs. They have loads of great nutrition and loads of really good flavour. And on top of this, I just drizzled some really nice olive oil, and I'll show you the olive oil that I use. This is quite an expensive olive oil that I just save for a dish like this where I'm really going to be able to taste it. That's what you want to save it for, is when you can really, really, really taste it. And so, I don't have many other flavours. It's very kind of delicate flavours that are going on in here. So I will be able to taste this really lovely olive oil, a bit of salt, and that is it. And when these are done, I will toast them and pop them on top of our salad. Gloria said that she likes them. Me too. It's very, very underrated and very underused in this country. And one other thing that we have is our slaw. So this is a slaw that it was really, really easy to make up because I used the mayonnaise that I showed you guys how to make a couple of days ago. I can't remember, was it 2 or 3 days ago? But this is the mayonnaise. I made it using aquafaba. Sorry, see, I'm getting hungry already. So the mayonnaise I made with you guys the other day using aquafaba, and then I literally just used a mandolin to slice up some red cabbage and chopped up some capers and some gherkins and just mixed it all together. So in a moment, this is going to be my lunch basically. So this salad and this really, really lovely slaw. I might even squeeze a burger in there too. Actually we're going to need this. So these, I can smell them, they're starting to smell. And someone has told me that they smell a bit like mackerel. I don't actually know what mackerel smells like, so, actually I do, because our cats have it sometimes. But yeah, there is like a slightly fishy smell, but it's definitely, very much kind of like an umami flavour, which is a great addition to any dish. So if you guys have any questions for me, now's a really, really, really good time to ask them. If you've got any questions about this dish or anything else, so I'll just give them a really rough grind. And they're broken up slightly, and then we can just pop them onto our salad, and it just gives an extra kind of savouriness, a lovely texture to it. And we've also got that lovely colour as well. We'd love a simple bread making class. Okay, so we can definitely do a bread making class. I have to tell you that I am gluten-free, so it would be a gluten-free bread. We are going to do some collaborations with some of our ex-students, our graduates, and they will be doing recipes for you guys as well. So if you want one that is a gluten bread, then we can get one of our ex-students to do it, and I can do the gluten-free stuff. So yes, we can definitely do that for you. So just a few more words about chia seeds. So chia seeds are very, very similar to these things. I don't know if you guys have ever come across these. You may not have done because they're nowhere near as well known as chia seeds, camelina seeds. So these are from the company that I mentioned to you guys before, Hodmidods. There we go. And they act in exactly the same way. They just have a very different colour. They're this very, light, kind of terracotta colour. But they can be used interchangeably with chia seeds for exactly the same purpose. And we've got linseeds here, or flax seeds. So linseeds and flax seeds are exactly the same thing. You can get them whole like this, and if you're going to use them whole, then it adds a really, really lovely texture to something like bread. But if you want to use them for their gelling qualities, then you need to use them ground. So if you guys have a high-speed blender, then you can grind them yourself. But other blenders, it doesn't really work very well with linseeds. Linseeds are really, really tough to break down. So if you don't have a high-speed blender, then they'll just go round and round and round, and you'll stop the blender and they'll be whole. So you can buy them ground in this way. And with this, it has very, very similar properties to chia seeds again, and you can make something like a flax egg, which you may have heard of, and that can be used as an egg replacer in certain vegan recipes. So the same with chia seeds, you can mix that with water and you can use that as, they call it like a chia egg, and you can use that as an egg replacement in some recipes. So not all, you've got to find the right substitution for the right recipe, but yes, it definitely has those properties. Paul says, looking at the Vegan Chef School website, it seems that this presentation is coming from near the Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Well, it's not, I'm afraid, because you sound quite excited about that, but it's not. So our school is in Tottenham, and it's actually on the same street as the Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, which is White Hart Lane, which is the street name that the school is on. But I'm coming to you from my home, which is in Horsham, Sussex. So a couple of hours away from Tottenham. Yes, so we're not there, I'm afraid. But eventually we will be back there. So basically at the moment we have postponed our courses, but we should be back there in September. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed our What Do I Do With class today. I hope that you guys will be experimenting with your chia seeds now that you know a couple of really easy things to do with them. Yeah, let me know how you get on. Gloria said my dad was a Tottenham supporter, as was his father. Good. I have been actually thinking that we might be able to get one of the team down to the school one day, because I've heard that one of them's vegan. So you never know. Thank you for watching today. Do let me know what recipes you want, what ingredients that you're flummoxed by. That's a good word. And join our group. So we have created a group. We've got so many lovely people in there sharing their own recipes, sharing pictures of the food that they've made, sharing pictures of the recipes of ours that they've made, which is also awesome, and just like supporting each other and talking about vegan food. I mean, like, I could just do that all day. But so you can just click on the Learn More button on this page, and then you'll be taken through to the Community Hub, and you can join us there. Gary said, someone told me you have to consume ground flaxseed immediately to get all the nutrients. Is this accurate? Okay, so I would say that, Gary, thank you. That's a really, really good question. When it comes to cooking, I'm kind of more focused on how is it going to help us in that recipe that we're making. It might be that there is a depletion in nutrients. I'm not entirely sure because I'm not a nutritionist. So I would say, like, if that is a concern for you, then do research it. But, I don't think that by waiting, so say for example, if we use flax in a cake and then we wait a day to eat it, I don't think it's going to mean that it doesn't have any nutrition in it whatsoever. But I would say that if you do want to take something like flax as something to help, as a supplement, I would suggest that maybe looking into having flax oil instead would be a better idea. Because if you're thinking, it's something that's going to, boost you, help you with whatever, health issues that you might have, then doing it that way would be better. And then you know that you're getting it. James said, hello, do you have any recommendations for substituting dates in the pudding? I have everything else. Are they just there for sweetness? Thanks. Yes, so they are. They're just for sweetness. You could use, if you've got any fruit syrups like agave or date or rice syrup or something like that, then you could use that. Basically, it's just a good form of natural healthy sweetness that also has the fiber there, which is that's a really, really great way for you to consume something that's very sugary. So Virginia said that she loves our lives. I love our lives too. There's so many different ways you could take that. So yeah, the sweetness, just try to find a healthy substitute for it as much as you can. You could try using other dried fruit, so dried apricot or sultanas or raisins or something like that. But you should probably soak them because just to help the blender out, just to help it blend a lot better. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me today. As I said, keep coming with your questions and your requests. These recipes are designed for you guys. So these lives are here to help you out with the questions and the queries and the concerns that you have over vegan food. So I want to make sure that we're helping you out in some way that is useful. So please do let us know what you would like to be on here. Thank you for your company and have a lovely day.